top 5 quarterback of all time. Russell Wilson will not even sniff the top 10.
So let me speak on the I think the Detroit Lions have a good opportunity to make a Super Bowl. They will not, but they have a very good opportunity. The NFC is pretty balanced this season, John. But let's talk about those Buffalo Bills. Let's say the Buffalo Bills do make the playoffs. They're going to have to travel to LA and beat the Chargers. They're going to have to beat the New England Patriots at home and then travel to Miami week 18 and beat the Miami Dolphins to make it into the playoffs, I feel. At that particular point, they'll be on a 5-game winning streak going into the playoffs. So you are telling me that the Buffalo Bills are going to win 8 games in a row to make it to the Super Bowl. Not one team this season has won more than 6 games in a row. Sorry, 7 games in a row. This year, the NFL is very, very balanced. And let's say the Buffalo Bills do make it to the playoffs on a 5-game winning streak, winning 6 of their last 7. The only loss coming to versus the Philadelphia Eagles on a 37-34 thriller of a game, right? Every year we see the Buffalo Bills melt down in the playoffs. Whether it's Stephon Diggs yelling at Josh Allen or if it's Josh Allen throwing a game interception in the red zone, the Buffalo Bills always seem to melt down. Until I see Josh Allen have a great game, back-to-back great games in the playoffs, I am not putting any stock in the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs whatsoever. Sorry, Carson. Sorry, John. Sorry, all you Bills Mafia guys. Kind of the Lamar Jackson syndrome. Great regular season. Show it to me in January. Back-to-back wins. Show it to me. Hoffy, do you think the Buffalo Bills have a chance to make the Super Bowl?
I think it's going to take a lot of effort just for them to win this AFC East, which they're going to try and do. I could see them making noise and getting to possibly the AFC Championship, but I think the AFC this year, it's going to go through either Kansas City or Baltimore. I think that those two teams have, I know that the Chiefs have struggled and looked ordinary at times this year, but I think they're going to get that ship corrected and they're going to, right the sail. I think it's going to come down to one of those two teams. I think those two teams have, the Chiefs have the talent. They've been there. They've done that. And the Ravens have just been playing unbelievable ball this year. So I think the AFC will be represented by either one of those two teams.
Yeah, and it will be the Chiefs. Jay says, I'll say this much, that Browning kid can ball. Just a little bit, but he can ball. Listen, Jake Browning is he's been started for 5 games, 6 games. This kid is going to find himself in a quarterback competition next season, whether it's for the Bengals or whether it's for some other team. I think some team is going to take a flyer on Jake Browning, whether it be the Cardinals, whether it be the Vikings, whether it be the Jets. Somebody's going to take a flyer on this kid, and he is going to be in a quarterback competition going into the 2024 NFL season. He has definitely earned that right, like I think. John says, my Steelers aren't going anywhere this year. The locker room is a hot mess. This team is in disarray. Uncharted waters for Pittsburgh. Big changes are coming. Hoffy, we've kind of been saying that Mike Tomlin is on this hot seat, and he has been listed as, quote, a dictator in the locker room. I want to ask you again, and I think I know the answer, but do you think Mike Tomlin is out of Pittsburgh after this season?
No, I don't think he is. I mean, what if the Steelers had like 3 coaches since like 1950?
Yeah, I think 3 coaches in their whole history, right?
Yeah, their whole history. So I don't see them, getting rid of a coach who hasn't had a losing season in his entire career of coaching that team. We've discussed it with the Patriots and firing Bill Belichick. Who is going to, who out there is better than him to replace him per se? And I just don't know that there is a clear-cut favorite right now that you can say, yep, he is a better, he puts us in a better position than what Mike Tomlin puts you in. I do think that they need, they're a young team and they need to grow up. They need to mature. I I think this season they would benefit from going out and getting a veteran offensive guy that can come in and, be the one that, gets them to step up. I mean, you lost, Big Ben. He was kind of that guy. Before that, you had Hines Ward, Jerome Bettis. They need that veteran presence that is going to, let them know that, hey, this shit is not how it goes here in Pittsburgh.
Right.
I think they're just the guys on the team right now are just content with saying, hey, we're Pittsburgh, and they're living off of, what the previous, Steelers offense and defense had done. I do think Watt is a pretty good leader on defense. They have the other defensive lineman that's been there for a while. I can't think of his name right now. I think they have a veteran presence as far as the defensive side. And I mean, the Steelers are always great on defense, but their offense is needing to get that voice in the locker room and kind of fix, Pickett and get Najee Harris to kind of get that dog in him, because I think he could be one of the best running backs, in the game, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, and I believe you're referring to Cam Hayward is the other defensive
Thank you. Yes.
lineman, and they also they drafted what was it, Joey Porter Jr. this year as well. So that
Exactly.
that
And then you
defense is
have
okay.
his dad that's, an assistant coach or whatnot. So,
Yeah.
That defensive side of the ball is going to be just fine. You gotta correct the offense there.
I mean, if the Pittsburgh Steelers decide to make a move, I feel like they're going to go after a coach that demands stuff, right? And I think a person that demands stuff is somebody on the Detroit Lions staff, and that is going to be Aaron Glenn is their defensive coordinator, and I think that would be a good transition if they do decide, or if Mike Tomlin decides to step away. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers will let Mike Tomlin go. I think if Mike Tomlin decides to walk away, it will be a mutual, understanding. Like, yeah, it has run its course.